So you will later have an opportunity to obtain this book. Okay, next I will call Maheshji Jamadia to the stage to give a full introduction of Madhavji.
Namaste. We welcome Shri Madhavji in Dallas and very pleased to have him with us. Although he doesn't need any introduction because of his wide spectrum of work, but here is a brief culture. Shri Madhavji is an Indian politician, a renowned author, and a thinker. He is a founding member of the Governing Council of India Foundation, where he has been a curator of some major national and international initiatives, likes of Indian Ocean Conference and Counter-Terrorism Conference. Madhavji is a renowned author and thinker with more than 200 publications to his credit. He has authored several books in English and Telugu, and some of his recent ones are the Hindutva paradigm, the one he just launched, Because India Comes First, and a popular title, Uneasy Neighbors. He is a regular contributor to the platforms like the Hindustan Times, the Indian Express, and many other magazines. He has been an editor of Bharatiya Pragna, a monthly magazine published in English by Pragna Bharati, and also associate editor of Jagriti, a weekly Telugu magazine. Widely regarded for his contribution in the field of strategic thinking, political philosophy, and India's foreign policy, Madhavji has traveled widely and addressed the forums like Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore, Hilafix Security Forum in Canada, Raisina Dialogue in India, Sochil Erosium Integration Forum in Russia, BRICS Political Forum in China, and the World Peace Conference in Thailand. Today, you will have an opportunity to hear him and to ask the questions. With this, I request Shri Madhavji to share his thoughts.
Respected Shri Prakash Rauji, Shri Pankaj Kumarji, all the distinguished participants, citizens of India, probably most of you, and domiciles of Dallas, and my dear young friends, my namaskars to all of you. Book is only an excuse. I have never been to Dallas before. So when I got the opportunity, like our Karyakarta suggested that why not go to Dallas, I readily agreed for it. I was here for some DOD sponsored conference at Washington, DC in the last 2 days. Yesterday that conference got over, and I will be here today and tomorrow at Houston, and Monday I will return to Bharat. As I said, it's a great pleasure to be here. This is my first visit. Happy to meet many eminent Indian community leaders here. I would like to share some of my experiences with you in the next maybe 20-25 minutes. Then I have been asked to be at your mercy for some time after that. And that's what's called questions and answers. More, I know, more of acquisitions. for what has not happened. So what I will do is, what has happened, I will tell you, first of all. So maybe we can talk about what has not happened afterwards. Bharat, our motherland, is right now passing through a very, very major transformation. It's a very happy transformation that is happening in the country. Ideally, this transformation should have happened right at the time we became independent in 1947. But for a different reason, we could not bring in this kind of awakening in the country. At that time, the leadership, the political leadership of the country was not ready for it at that time. But today, when we celebrate the 75th year of our independence, what we call as the Amrit Mahotsav, we find the country reinventing itself, re-manifesting itself in its original form. Swami Vivekananda used to describe India in a very beautiful phrase. He used to call it Dharma Prana Bharata. Bharat has the soul of Dharma. Dharma, you can variously interpret it, you can call it religion, you can call it way of life, view of life, call it Sanatana Dharma, call it Hindu Dharma. But this country has had a distinct character. That is what differentiates India from rest of the world. Today, as we turn 75, that distinct identity of our country, Bharat, is seen to be coming back. Today, the society in our country strongly identifies with the great value system, the dharma, that Hinduness, which we call in popular parlance as Hindutva. They are ready to wear it openly on their sleeves today. It's like a kind of great resurgence of Hinduism that is taking place across nook and corner of the country today. You may ask me, how can you say that? What is the proof of it? Is it because Prime Minister Modi has won the election second time? Is that the test? Is that the proof for it? I would say yes, partly that's also one proof, one evidence of the awakening that you witness in the country. But the bigger proof is, today even the adversaries, they compete with us in claiming their Hinduness today. Rahul Gandhi will today stand up and say, I am actually a true Hindu. These BJP walas are all bogus Hindus. I am the true Hindu. Today, Mamata Banerjee is remembering her devotion to Ma Durga, remembering her Gotra. Somebody is displaying his Janev. Somebody else is singing stotras in public meetings. Those who were seen as sworn enemies of this thinking, this Hinduness, Hindu identity of this country, this dharmic identity of this country, are today writing books about the great chart of Hinduism. one of the recent additions to the greatness of Hinduism, recent book about greatness of Hinduism. Today I just received a book from Adharya Prakash Rao. He has another book. You can expect him to write it because he has been a devout Hindu, has done so much for our dharma. So he has authored a book. No surprise. But you and I should be surprised when such a book comes out of the pen of Shri Tharoor. Shri Tharoor has authored a book singing peans of Hinduism. Friends, the reason is that is what India is today. So even the great adversary is today forced to acknowledge that no, this country's religion, culture, dharma is great. I am also no less a devotee of it than probably the BJP RSS people. In fact, I remember in one of his speeches, one very big leader in Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party leader, he actually went to the people saying that I am the true Hindu, not Yogi Adityanath. That is the mood in the country today. There is great pride in our dharma, in our value system, in our culture. Now, this pride is not because you have some political victory in Delhi, not because there is a government by BJP in Delhi. Even that government is a product of this pride. It is the other way. And today, not just the BJP. You go to a state like Telangana, you will see the chief minister doing yajna every month. Naming districts after Yadatri Hindu names, renovating temples. Now, one may cynically say, sir, these are politics. Yeah, of course, these are all politics. But politics always follows the public sentiment. Even those politics of our adversaries, adversary means not political adversary. For us, there is no politics. But those who we used to consider as not so much in support of the dharma are also today proudly wearing it on their sleeves. That is because there is great awakening in the country in the name of our Sanatana Dharma, our religion. So first of all, as Bharatiyas living all over the world, let us cherish it. Let us enjoy the new awakening that is happening in the country. This awakening is actually leading to so many good changes in the country also. Let us enjoy those changes also. Like, the status of constitutional integration of Kashmir has now been completed. We used to have this pain that we are one country, then why we are having this discrimination? Why Kashmir should have a special status? Today it has ended. And what we all should understand is that ending, that abrogation of Article 370 was a very, very bold move by our Prime Minister of India and of the government of the day. But don't give any less credit to people of Jammu and Kashmir also. Look at the way how they accepted it today. When that bill was being discussed in the parliament, there were leaders who would stand up and say that Khoon kharaba ho jayega. There will be blood bath on the streets of Srinagar, on the streets in Kashmir. Nothing happened. I was I was a part of that whole exercise because I was dealing with Kashmir for many years. So the average person in Kashmir, his mood was that we had lived under Article 370 for 50, 60, 70 years. We did not do anything. Why not we try out life under no 370? Let us see. Let us have some faith in Prime Minister Modi's thinking. Let us see if it benefits us. Why not? A change in thinking has happened. I mean, I knew when that decision happened, the government decided to put important leaders of Kashmir in preventive detention. Some 500-600 leaders, from local leaders to state leaders, they were put in preventive detention. They were respectfully treated. They were put up in hotels, guest houses. Nobody was forced to go to jail. When we used to go to Kashmir and tell people that, don't get angry, we are not ill-treating your leader. We are treating them respectfully. People used to say, why are you telling us? Why are you explaining this to us? Actually, we want these leaders to remain in jail for 4-5 years. Don't let them off freely, easily. We are fed up with them. That change of mode is what we all today witness. Today, we are, renovating our temples. We are all happy that Ram Mandir is coming up. Very soon, in next couple of years' time, you will see a grand Ram temple in Ayodhya, the birthplace of Bhagwan Ram. But not only the Ram temple. Kashi Vishwanath Mandir. If you go to Bharat next time, do visit Kashi. You will see the Vishwanath Mandir in new avatar. Kashi Vishwanath symbolizes India's thousands of years of our civilizational cultural heritage. It has come back to glory and life today. Complete Char Dham is going to be fully transformed. If you today go to Uttarakhand, roads, 4-lane roads, you will reach Badrinath in 4 hours from Rishikesh, Dehradun. Our mandirs are being renovated today. Our religion is returning to life. Not just BJP government. Even other states, other governments today, realizing the public sentiment, they are also embarking on renovating temples. Very recently, in Telangana, the Yadagiri Gunta Narasimha Swami shrine has been renovated into a very big temple by the state government, which we all think that anti-Hindu government somehow thing. Religion is coming to life. Cultural rejuvenation is happening. And today that pride in identifying with that Sanatana Dharma is there to be seen everywhere. When was it that you have seen a Prime Minister wearing Rudrakshmala? Have we seen in last 70 years any time until Modi ji did it publicly? When was it a Prime Minister of a country took a holy dip in Ganga Maya, Ganga Nadi, Ganga, River Ganga? We today have that kind of pride in our dharma, in our culture, and we are wearing it proudly. When we started doing it, everybody is doing it. It's the national mood today. There are no takers for anti-Hindu sentiment anymore in India. Anti-dharma, no takers. Now, I was telling our Karyakartas earlier that when that Article 370 was abrogated, I met with one senior local leader, regional leader. That leader told me that, I am very angry, not with you, because I knew one day you would do it. In fact, one day, when this happened, when I went, some of our Karyakartas, some leaders of the the other party, regional party with whom we had a government, PDP, they came and complained to me, sir, what is this? You never told us that you will do this. I jokingly said, what do you mean? We have been telling you for 70 years. If we get the opportunity, this 370 will go. We have been telling you right from the beginning. Don't say that we never told you. Mehbooba remembered. She said, I know you always said you are against 370 will go. But my anger is against the other parties. Nobody is standing up by me. Neither Congress nor Communist. Earlier they used to, provoke us, prod us. No, you fight there. Now when it happened, there's nobody to stand by us. There's nobody to stand by those forces today. That is the reality politically in India. We must cherish that. Having said it, has everything been completely achieved? No. We need a few more things to change in the country. There are still forces. They are trying to still raise their head against this dharma, against the people. They are making efforts. Where they get some political support, there you will see them behaving a little more aggressively. But broadly, even those forces, their days are numbered, take it from me. No need to be worried that in India something very dangerous is happening. No, it is not happening. Nobody says that there are no challenges. There are challenges. In some states, we have the challenge of conversion. We're tackling it. In some states, we have the challenge of Islamic radicalism. For example, in states like Kerala, parts of Karnataka, we have the challenge of Islamic radicalism. But today, we are in a position to tackle it. We will tackle it, don't worry, they are there. But they need not be a negative reflection on the great change transformation that is happening. Don't dismiss all this. Remember, there is a big change happening. When big change happens, there will be some forces which always try to stall it. They will try their last attempt they will make. Those attempts will be tackled. But what is still to be achieved is a couple of things. Just I mention and close, then we can discuss through an interaction. Ultimately, what is this Sanatana Dharma all about? It is about 3-4 qualities. It's about Satya, truth. It's about Karuna, love, benevolence, compassion. It is about Suchita. It's about cleanliness. Cleanliness, not just physical. It's spiritual. It is emotional. Cleanliness. It's about Tyaga. It's about sacrifice. So you need to create a society that is imbued with these qualities. So you need to create greater dharmic atmosphere in the country. So take the case of Kashmir, for example. Now what government needed to do, it has done. Government needed to correct an anomaly in our constitution, it has done it by abrogating Article 370. That's we have to do. You all have to do. All those people in Bharat have to do. What is that? Now today, the mental barriers have to be broken. You have removed the constitutional barriers. Mental barriers remain. So, in fact, in Bharat also, wherever I go, wherever I meet our Indian Bharatiya friends, I say this. We have to do something. from the point of the compassion, that karuna, that satya, that next time you plan your vacation, plan it to Kashmir. Next time you plan your pilgrimage, plan it to Amarnath or Vaishnav Devi. On a lighter note, next time you plan your next honeymoon, plan it to Gulmarg. So some people ask me, what is the next honeymoon? You don't have any experience, you are a Vichara. You don't know what is it. It's only once. I said, yes, I don't have experience, but I have knowledge. These days, everybody has knowledge. Knowledge is, I don't know, honeymoon should be only once. It can be any number of times, but same people. Do it again, go to Gulmarg. So the point is, now we have to go and embrace the people there and tell them that we are there, we are all one. We have won the physical space, constitutional space. We also have to win the space of hearts and minds, as people have to do that. Similarly, we have problems with certain, certain fundamentalist groups in India. There is Islamic fundamentalism. It's a challenge. How do we tackle it? One way is to scream about it. Oh, Islamic radicalism, Islam kya hai, Islam wo hai. Write about it. So much has been written. You can write so much more. Negativity sells. You can read books about how bad they are. It is a good thing. But the challenge is, if you are a Sanatana Dharma person, you should be able to change it. If you have the Shakti, we are all Shakti worshippers. Sanatana Dharma's major worship is Shakti. What is Shakti? Shakti is, its Sanskrit definition is Kartum, Nakartum, Anyatha Kartum Shakyate iti Shakti. Meaning, it will do good. It will undo bad. It will stop bad. But it has a third quality. It will do otherwise. Anyatha Kartum. It will transform bad into good. So we always stop at the second place. Like, how to stop them? So, क्या जाके मार दे? अभी तो एक स्वामी जी ने कहा, सभी संतों को AK-47 दे दीजिए. दे दे क्या करोगे AK-47? Ideally, government should take care of it. If there are forces that are against the interests of the nation, let the governments handle it. Have good governments in place. But have faith in our capacity. You are forgetting. We have absorbed Gunas, we have absorbed Shaka, we have absorbed Kushana. Where has that appetite gone? Build that appetite. That doesn't mean you should annihilate anybody, any religion. Let them be there. But they all should imbibe these four qualities of Sanatana Dharma. As I said, Satya, Karuna, Suchita, Jada. We should be able to bring them onto that philosophy. We should, as a society, have to have that internal courage that we will do it. 80-20 debate is good in politics. For winning elections and votes, wo chalega. But it's not the debate of Dharmik Samaj. Dharmik Samaj debate is 100%. हमारा कोई शत्रु नहीं है. सर्वेषाम अविरोधेन. हाँ, those who consider others who pelt stones on me, tackle it. How to tackle? Judiciously. Confucius का नाम सुने होंगे, a great Chinese scholar. Once, one of his disciples asked him a very interesting question. The disciple asked, Master, There are two ways of looking at a problem. One way is if somebody comes and slaps you on your cheek, what should you do? One way is the Jesus way, show the other cheek. Some people say it's the Gandhian way also. But there is another way. Some people say if he slaps you on one side, you slap him on all sides. For one tooth, the entire jaw. मेरा एक दांत निकलेगा, तुम्हारा 32 निकलेगी. So which path is right? Confucius was asked by his disciple. Confucius puts a counter question. The counter question was, if you do good to somebody who does bad to you, what will you do to somebody who does good to you? थोड़ा पजल लगता है ना? तुम्हारे साथ बुराई करने वालों के साथ तुम अच्छाई करते हो, तो तुम्हारे साथ अच्छाई करने वालों के साथ क्या करते हो? But Confucius' reply is very interesting. He says, those who do good to you, you should always do good unto them. जो अच्छा करता है उनके साथ अच्छा करना है. But those who do bad to you, you should not do bad unto them. You should give them justice. उनको न्याय देना चाहिए. न्याय देने की क्षमता रखना पड़ता है. आज हमें वो क्षमता हासिल करना है, एक्वायर करना है. तो आज सोसाइटी उस दिशा में सोचना पड़ेगा. It's one thing to think that tit for tat हो जाना है, but tit for tat का जब when you are the ruler, you are the government, you are the most powerful people, tit for tat किसके साथ? तो आज हमें इस स्ट्रेंथ को इतना बढ़ाना है, इतना बड़ा करना है, ताकि तो विरोधी भी हमारे साथ चल सके. India में nobody's identity should be in खतरा. Remember, India is one country, our dharma is one dharma, which has always, again, I invoke Swami Vivekananda when he came here to Chicago. He says something very interesting. He says, he tells the missionaries there, see, I come from a country which not only tolerates, but validates and accepts different paths as valid paths. It accepts. We accept diversity. In one of his speeches, he goes one step further. He says, we not only accept, we celebrate diversity. We're a nation which celebrates, not annihilates diversity. So this diversity will be there. But we as a dharmic society should develop so much strength that this diversity doesn't become a threat to us. It becomes something that we can manage. We can still build a greater unity within this diversity. उस capacity को लेकर हमको चलना पड़ेगा. That philosophical foundation we should never forget. So enhance this strength through, strengthening our institutions, strengthen our temple institution. Today, there is a lot of talk about temples to be handed back to Hindus. Why are we not doing it? That question also probably will be there in the mind of many of you. I can share some good information with you. There is the process going on to come up with a coherent act, a regulation to hand all the temples back to Hindus in India. It's being drafted by a group of eminent sadhus and a group of legal luminaries. Because, as Ahmad said, they are very argumentative people. Once it comes into our hand, we start fighting. So, temple should not end up in courts. आपको दिया तो आप झगड़ा करके कानून अदालत में लेके गए, ऐसा नहीं होना है. इसलिए there will be a proper structure developed so that in temples when they are handed back to people, people will be able to run them efficiently. That process is on. I think in next couple of years, that act will be a reality. We should be able to manage the temples well. And remember, temple in Hinduism is not just a place of worship alone. It's a place of teaching. It's a place of feeding, and it's a place of sheltering. It will ensure that nobody is illiterate. It will ensure that nobody is hungry. It will ensure that nobody is shelterless. That is the temple for us. Annam Bahu Pirumita is our temple concept. Temple should feed people. There should not be anybody hungry. Meaning, society's welfare we should be able to do so that those religions which are offering some goods to people and converting them should now run for a cover. Our temple does it. Our acharya, our archikas will do that. You know what happened over the years in Hinduism was that Hinduism became a religion of seeds. Seed becomes religion. Seed is not Hinduism. Parivrajita is Hinduism. Parivrajita means roaming around. Is Hinduism. But over the years we created seeds and we decided this. So if you want to be a Hindu, you have to come to Hinduism. But Christianity has created a system of where Christianity will go to you. You don't have to come to Christianity, he will go. Why don't we go? We need to make our institutions instruments in taking our dharma closer to people, not big holy structures where people have to come. They will come. If बालाजी का मंदिर है तो तिरुपति में लोग जाएंगे ही, बट क्या बालाजी भी गांव-गांव जा सकता है? आचार्य भी जा सकता है, जहां फादरी जा सकता है, हम क्यों नहीं जा सकते? Today we need to think on those lines. So that capacity to absorb, capacity to internalize all the different diversities, Hindu society has to rekindle that capacity. That should be the way forward for us, not to think that everybody else is my enemy. कितने enemies को ढूंढते जाओगे? You are in 21st century, we are in 21st century. If there are enemies, they will be tackled by the government. Have faith in the government. If you think that this government is not tackling them properly, change it. Bring out the government, but have that capacity. I can tell you today, large parts of India, our society, the dharmic society, today has that capacity. In spite of it, sometimes certain disasters happen because politicians sometimes are more clever. You know, those in Maharashtra, for them it is easy to understand. School में 3 फेल हो गए बच्चे, तीनों का मार्क मिला के ये कहेंगे कि मेरा तो फर्स्ट क्लास से भी ज्यादा मार्क है। अब वही हुआ महाराष्ट्र में, लोगों ने तो सबको फेल कर दिया, और जो फेल हुए हैं मार्क्स जोड़ के कह रहे हैं फर्स्ट है। Democracy has that weird situation. Sometimes it happens. Don't lose heart. People still wanted something else. Okay, for 5 years they got something different. So some of those things need to be tackled. Some of the major reforms have to be brought in. Like lots of women are sitting here. India का women force को unleash करना है. Big strength. India का युवा शक्ति को unleash करना है. Big strength. As a society, we need to create a strong, samruddha Bharat, Atmanirbhar Bharat. This government has decided that लड़कियों का marriage 20 months से पहले नहीं होना.
कोई कह सकता है, कोई धर्माचार्य कह सकते हैं ये तो हिंदू परंपरा के खिलाफ है। नहीं, दैट इज हिंदू परंपरा कि वुमन हैज फुल फ्रीडम टू चूज, डिसाइड अबाउट हर फ्यूचर। दैट इज हिंदू परंपरा। हमारे हिंदू परंपरा में 10 महिलाओं को महासाध्वी कहते हैं। संघ में इन आवर मॉर्निंग प्रेयर्स वी रिमेंबर 10 ग्रेट women, Ahalya, Sita, Draupadi, Kunti, Savitri. 10 women we remember. We call them Mahasattvis. Go and read the life of each one of them. Each one of them was a rebel of her time. Rebel. कुंती को एक गुण मिला, एक वर मिला, शादी से पहले प्रयोग कर लिया, बच्चा पैदा हो गया, उसको नदी में बहा दिया। आम तौर पर क्या कहना चाहिए? हमने क्या कहा है? महासाध्वी कहा है। द्रौपदी रेबेल, चाहती तो महाभारत युद्ध रोक सकती, 5 villages वर ऑन ऑफर। कृष्ण तो बहुत चालाक थे। कृष्ण वो प्रस्ताव पहले द्रौपदी के पास लेके आते, नॉट धर्मराज। ही नोस कि युधिष्ठिर के पास जाता है, युधिष्ठिर बीइंग धर्मराज, he will immediately accept it. He will say युद्ध नहीं चाहिए, शांति चाहिए। गांधी जी के ग्रैंडफादर थे युधिष्ठिर। तो वो द्रौपदी के पास जाता है। द्रौपदी कहती है कि देखो भाई, मैं जानती हूँ, if you take it to my husband, he will accept it, he will take it. But please tell him, if he is, if he doesn't have any sense of shame and he wants to accept 5 villages to be happy, let me be happy, I don't mind. मैं जब तक वो दुशासन का खून नहीं लाएंगे, तब तक तो मैं तो मेरी बाल मूड़ने वाली नहीं हूँ। Go and tell him. That is when युद्ध happens. तो हमने क्या द्रौपदी को युद्धोन्मादी कहा है? उल्टा महासाध्वी कहा। Because we respected the dignity of women. आप 16 साल में कैसे शादी कर दोगे? This power has to vanish. मैं बात कर रहा था तो एक टीवी डिबेट में किसी महापुरुष ने आपस पढ़ने पर ये क्या हो गया? 18 साल में वोट दे सकती है लड़की, 21 ईयर तक मैरिज नहीं कर सकती। ये क्या हो गया? ऐसा कैसे होगा? तो मैंने कहा देखो भाई, 18 साल में गलती भी कर सकती है तो 5 साल भुगतना पड़ेगा कोर्ट में, और 18 साल में दूसरी गलती करेगी, जीवन भर भुगतना पड़ेगा। Let her have their freedom. We need to think afresh. You need to unleash India's great latent power. Government is doing all this. We are moving in that direction. It will happen gradually. Have faith. When challenges come to you through WhatsApp University, feel for them. Show concern. But when showing concern, remember this back. And back home, so much is changing. Doomsday sells well. But Hinduism is not doomsday. Hinduism is religion of confidence. That Hinduism is standing up today. We need to further strengthen the challenges. I know challenges of many things, radicalism, this, that, but we have a huge opportunity at our hands today. We should appreciate it. Using this opportunity, we have to build a strong Bharat. एक ही बात कह के मैं क्लोज करता हूँ। We have to build a Bharat of Ananda, happiness. That is Hinduism. Hinduism is the only religion that talks about Ananda, happiness, not Swarga, not Naraka. If you go to Islam, Christianity, Jannat, Jahannam, heaven, hell. But here, it's Ananda, happiness. You have to give happiness. We have that prayer. Sarve Pasukina Santu, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Padrani Pasyantu, Ma Kasyat Dukha Bhag Bhavet. What is this prayer all about? Sarve Sukhina Santu, everybody should be happy. Sarve Santu Niramaya, nobody should have diseases. Sarve Bhadrani Pashantu means people should enjoy goods in life. You should have a TV, you should have a car, you should have a mobile phone, you should have a good family, good education, good house, good things in life. Nobody should have any reason to shed tears. कोई संत महात्मा इस मंच पे होते तो कहेंगे नहीं नहीं तो परलोक के बारे में, परलोक नहीं है, इस लोक की चिंता है. You have to give happiness to everybody. But the operational word in the prayer is survey. Everybody should get that. In order for everybody to be happy, those who are happier should sacrifice something, should work for them. That is Hinduism. So where is enmity with anybody for us? We are for the happiness of all. Today, this Prime Minister is talking about Atmanirbharta, Make in India. All these things are to create grassroots happiness in this country. That is the spirit of our dharma. So we have to understand that this is the canvas on which we are working. That old debate, अब we have some enemies, उनको finish करना ही हमारा कार्यक्रम है, इसलिए हम हैं. नहीं, our canvas is big. In that canvas, there are dark spots. We will tackle those dark spots. But the canvas is not dark spots. Have faith. Today, Indian society is standing up. Extend your help. English में कहावत है, nearer the church, farther the God. प्रकाश जी कहेंगे मंदिर के बाजू वाला मंदिर में नहीं आता, वो आएगा दूसरे जगह से, दूर दूर से आएंगे चले. तो इसके इनवर्स में उतना ही सच है. फादर द चर्च नियर द गॉड. आप थोड़ा भारत से दूर है तो ज्यादा हिंदुइज्म से नजदीक आपको महसूस होता है. इतना ध्यान रखिए, वहां रहने वाले भी उतना ही अच्छे हिंदू है, वो भी उतना ही काम कर रहे हैं. आपकी पीड़ा में समझता हूं, बट विश्वास भी रखिए, बहुत कुछ बदल रहा है. जो कुछ बदलना बाकी है ये भी बदलेगा. आप सबका सहयोग भी